This video, we're going to touch on the conspiracy theory category, and we're going to talk about mysterious creatures. In this one, Bigfoot. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, Bigfoot, very well known. This whole mystery surrounding this mythical creature has been around for many years, and I think overall, we never really know what's out there. There's certain regions of the earth that have not even been, surveyed or studied or researched or even remain uncharted. A good example is like the ocean. I mean, there's only so much of the ocean we can cover because we can only go a certain depth before it's just too dangerous for us. With that said, the Bigfoot theory or the Bigfoot belief has been around for so many years, and I never like to sit here and say that ultimately something doesn't or does exist. And when it comes to Bigfoot, I do find it very hard to believe, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and 100% say that it's not possible. Anything's possible. Science does a good amount of math and uses a good amount of physics and things of that nature to come up with evidence as to why something can or cannot happen or can and cannot be. With that said, Bigfoot's been studied for so long now that I think from a logical standpoint, if something that big and something that significant existed, I'm sure we would have had something better than just random sightings or evidence that unfortunately for the most part has been proven to be false. There have been so many hoaxes that any sort of credibility that someone may come out with is put into question right away, and many times written off by skeptics or scientists who believe they know better. So, I mean, I think the most famous Bigfoot evidence is the Patterson, I think it's Patterson-Gimlin. Yes, Patterson-Gimlin film, which is, of course, you all know that one. It's the one with Bigfoot walking across a plane or just, taking a stroll. And, that has also been put into question because there was a gentleman that came out. Let me get his name here. Bob Harmonious, I think his last name was. It's a long name. And he alleged or claimed that he wore the suit in that very film. While one of the filmers, I think it was Mr. Patterson, allegedly claimed that he showed his footage to Universal studio technicians and special effects experts, and they claimed that they could not in any way, shape, or form redo or fake what was on that film. That was also a claim. According to my information I'm reading here, Universal Studios, there's nothing here about them making a comment denying or approving Mr. Patterson's claim. But you know what? I mean, the overall thing of it is this. I think the problem when it comes to situations like Bigfoot or Loch Ness or any of those creatures is that there's so many people who hoax it that at this point people are just like, yeah, whatever. Bigfoot, sure. And if you remember the one from a couple of years back, the gentleman who claimed that they had a dead Bigfoot on ice, it was reported on CNN. It was all over the news because it was so believable at the time. It looked so real. And finally, when there was a press conference and they brought the Bigfoot out, as it thawed from being on ice, people realized that the head was hollow, the feet were rubber, and it turned out to be a hoax. And it was a horrible hoax because there was one major, excuse me, there was one major Bigfoot investigation organization that actually paid these men $50,000. So, I mean, when you get a hoax of that magnitude, that the whole news and everybody gets involved, and it turns out to be fake, that once again takes away any potential credibility that somebody might have if they have sufficient evidence. And here's the unfortunate part. I think what happens is you have so many people who have said they had sightings and this, and I don't like to immediately come out and call somebody a liar. I'm not saying I immediately believe them either, but I try to keep a fair objective because I try to put myself in a position where what if I really saw Bigfoot? I'm talking a clear vision of Bigfoot, no doubt, 100% sure it's him. And then I report this, and then people start questioning me because they think I might have seen something else, or because they think that I'm trying to hoax them, or I'm trying to be full of crap. And in your heart of hearts, you're telling the truth. I mean, I can imagine how frustrating that is. But on the other hand, I gotta say, I think when you consider the how a Bigfoot, how they explain it, and how it's supposed to be a primate-type humanoid creature, and even scientists have said this on the, and I gotta agree with this assessment. how could you control? How could that kind of species control their population growth? They would rapidly populate, much like humanoids or much like apes over in Asia and Africa. So for them to be so secret for so long, and on top of that, to live in the North Pacific of America, yeah, I mean that's questionable. Maybe they're intelligent enough to keep their numbers down. I don't know. Maybe they're subterranean, and then we just can't seem to find them. They live in certain parts of the mountains that are inaccessible to humans. Who knows? Nobody knows. That's the problem. But I mean, overall, it's a fascinating thing. Bigfoot's an icon now. I don't think the search for him will ever end. Unfortunately, I can. It's a safe bet that finding him is unlikely. But if it did, that'd be great. I mean, that would be the find of many centuries. But overall, I think Bigfoot, as compelling as it can be, as compelling as some of the evidence that has not been hoaxed can be as well, I think overall, probably unlikely that he exists. But nonetheless, he's an icon in America. There are people who work hard to research and find him, and for their sake, I really hope they do, because I know how much work some people out there have put into looking for this creature, and they've dedicated their lives and they've invested quite a bit of money into finding him. So for their sake, I hope they do. So I would hate to see work like that go to waste, but it's not something I would invest in personally. But we'll see what happens. You never know, right? So that's pretty much it on Bigfoot. I mean, we pretty much know the story. We know the film. We know the evidence. We know the hoaxes. But what we don't know is whether or not the man or the creature, or both, whether or not he exists. Take it easy, guys. See you next video. Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to touch on the conspiracy theory category, and we're going to talk about mysterious creatures. And this one, Bigfoot. Okay guys, welcome back. So Bigfoot, very well known. This whole mystery surrounding this mythical creature has been around for many years, and I think overall, we never really know what's out there. There's certain regions of the earth that have not even been surveyed or studied or researched or even remain uncharted. A good example is like the ocean. I mean, there's only so much of the ocean we can cover because we can only go a certain